All right, so on the right, I have the Lepin ship in the bottle. And we can look at the bags that the pieces come in. On the left, I've got the original Lego. So already we can tell some big differences, obviously. We have a more professional looking step-by-step guide for the Lego, and a still color, which is impressive for Lepin, but floppier guide for the Lepin. And the bags that the pieces come in. So the Lego, they're very clearly marked. We have number 1, 2 little bags for number 3, and the 2 bags for 4. And then there might be a couple little bags inside this one here. Same thing for the number 2. And then the big pieces are unwrapped and in the open. On the Lepin side, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm guessing 5 bags. This one's not really marked. For the 1, and then 2 is consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 bags, and 3 is 1 bag, and then 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags. So, and then these big pieces are in its own bag and wrapped with wrapping paper. So, a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with building them, and I'll do them at roughly the same pace. So I'll do like a couple pages and stop whenever I have noticed some big differences or anything of significance in the pieces or anything else, and then I'll show that to you and go from there. So I just barely opened up the bag on the Lepin side and already noticed a little bit of difference. It kind of stretched before it tore in this plastic. So it's a little bit different kind of plastic, whereas the Lego one just tore very nice and clean. And you know, I know that's something that you might think is insignificant, but the point of this video is to show all of the differences that I can find. I'm trying to be as detailed as possible. Some people might appreciate that. If you don't care, oh well, that's up to you. Just here to show those little differences. I already got to point another thing out. If you can see this, Lego's not supposed to do that. This isn't Lego though, so yeah, piece came on a little too. It went on a little too easy. Now it's just kind of floating on there. It's just, you can hear it squeaking. Oh, and it just popped off. Some of these other pieces were very, very snug. Kind of hard to pop on. And then if you can kind of see, well, you can't really tell on the camera, but they're not exactly the same. One of the things that's great about Lego is that it's so exact. The fitting of the pieces. Rarely, if ever, do you find a piece that doesn't fit perfectly. Whereas in these Lepin ones or the other Chinese brands, it's relatively common, but I mean, you get what you pay for. So I'll keep on going and keep on pointing out those differences that I find. Alright, so as you can tell, there's a bit of a gap between those two pieces there. Not very good tight fit like you see on the Lego. Nice big gap. All of these are kind of a little loose. And then I also noticed, well, there's this one it just kind of just slides right off. So, but I guess that's kind of to be expected with a non-original Lego set. Well, not Lego. So now at this step I wanted to point out another big difference. Well, one, you can look at the detail of the dragon on the Lego side. Looks pretty nice and clean. That piece actually looks a little bit more detailed than that one. Interesting. Huh. Maybe a little bit of a typo on Lego's part. However, the sails, they're all stiff, easy to put in position correctly the way you want it. Now, one thing that I kind of noticed, these don't fit so tightly. They're a little loose, as you can tell. Yeah, they're not very snug. The detail of the dragon. Now, the colors maybe not as good, but the lines are actually finer. Quite a bit more fine on the weapon, on the weapon side. Some things, and then you look at that little detail there on the crest of the dragon, and yep, you can see lots of inconsistencies. Definitely not Lego. And yeah, very loose. So kind of hard to display it if you can't keep it the way you want it. Alright, so we're at step number 2, starting to build the bottle. Now I wanted to point out the difference in the transparency, or how clear the pieces are. On the right, of course, is the weapon, on the left is the Lego. So let's go over to the Lego. I mean, you can definitely tell they're about crystal clear as they can get. Very clean, crisp looking. And then we go over to this side. The weapon, a little bit of cloudiness, especially with these 3 pieces. Quite a bit of cloudiness there. That one's pretty clear. And that one too is also pretty clear. They don't look quite as crisp or clean, but not bad. Except for those 3. Those ones look horrible. Yeah, those ones are a little meh, but overall, not bad. Alright, we're starting on the bottle, for the ship in the bottle. And the difference between the weapon and the Lego, well, the difference is clear. Pun intended. Just look at that. I mean, they look cloudy on the weapon side. Whereas the Lego side is just crystal clear. And on this side, not so clear. Yeah, clearly there's a difference in quality. Alright, so far, I wanted to point out the fitment, or the fitting of the pieces. So, and clearly. Again, big difference in the transparency. You can see that. But if you can see on these little corners here and there, you can see how tight it is. Again, there and there. Now let's go look over at the Lepin version. A little bit more of a gap there, and then over here we get a bit more of a gap. Up here, we're getting quite a bit of a gap, and a little bit one there too. And the pieces seem to like they're pulling on each other and they're not quite fitting quite right, so creating these little gaps here and there. Alright, now we're at this stage. Now, just wanted to point something out. I kind of switched things up on you. So, this is actually the Lepin. This is the Lego. Most people hopefully notice that. Just wanted to point out that the difference is not in the lighting, because I do have a light here, and I've got a big window there. So the difference is in the quality of the pieces and the clarity, and I don't want to use that same phrase again, but clearly there's a big difference. I mean, you can see very much all the little pieces there and how they fit together so well. I really like how Lego did this, kind of showing the mechanics of the pieces. And it's just so clear. And then we go over to the Lepin side. A very good copy. I mean, they did a really good job copying Lego. And you can see through them, they're just not as good. Fitment isn't that great. A lot of pieces are hard to get in there and pop on right. Especially, where's my finger? There it is. These pieces right here, these little 1x1s that go in these little corners, were actually really hard to pop on there. And some of them aren't completely straight, and I'm not going to bother because they're just too stiff. And then others, like these, they feel almost too loose. So there's not a lot of consistency in the fitment of the pieces. Over here, whenever I was putting the Lego pieces on, it was like, I don't know, it was relaxing. Just everything fit together so nicely. And sorry, I keep on shaking my leg. Everything just fits together so nicely, and they pop together really well. They don't have to put a lot of pressure, and nothing falls apart from being too loose or whatever. But in general, with Lego, you pay the price, but you get what you pay for. So there's that. Alright, so now we're getting to the point where we're going to add the water pieces. I just wanted to point out some things here. We got the other level up on the bottle around the ship. And it's just amazing how clear these pieces are. They like, for a second I was actually kind of confused if they were really on down here at that level, but it's just how clear they are. Very high quality. Again, clearly a big difference. I gotta stop that joke. Yeah, just very, very impressed with the level of quality on the Lego side. Still impressed with the Lepin side, the quality there. I mean, it's still very impressive. I mean, the pieces didn't quite fit as well. A little bit harder to get on there. The plastic feels a little brittle. Not brittle, is just doesn't feel as strong as the Lego plastic. It kind of feels like if I put too much pressure on it, or if I try to do something too tough on it, then it's gonna break. Alright, now I wanted to show the difference of these little pieces here. So the lip inside comes in one bag. The Lego side comes in two of these bags. So instantly you can notice a little bit of a difference in clarity. I will not let these pieces mix together. That is blasphemy. Lego and fake Lego do not mix. But this is the closest that they will get. Come on, there we go. So you can see the fake Lego is pretty good. The Lepin, it's pretty nice, but not the same. Definitely not the same. The color, for one, seems richer on the Lego side. It's a little bit more pale on the Lepin side. Alright, so this thing was a pain. Trying to get these big pieces connected to that. It's a little loose between the clear pieces and this brown disc here. If I touch it, probably it might pop off. And then getting these pieces connected, that was a pain too, and then getting them back on there. Again, it's just a fitment issue. They're not perfect copies. They're good copies, just not perfect. And then over to the Lego side, they actually all fit perfectly. No issues with that. Let's take a look at the difference in detail. Come on, there we go, focus there. And that's the Lego. And focus. It's the Lepin. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, the Lego's better, but the color's not quite as bright. But the Lepin's not bad. The gold, a little bit brighter gold there, and more metallic looking. A lot more of a swirl in the Lego one, not quite a consistent color on the Lego one compared to the Lepin one actually. So yeah, if you can see that. Sorry, I'm moving a little too much. One of these days I'll invest in an actual camera and a gimbal and whatever and have some nice good videos for you, but for now it's just me and my hand and my phone. Hopefully these are good enough videos. I know they're pretty high resolution. Using my Note 8. Doing all the video editing and everything on my Note 8 also. Lots of multitasking abilities with that phone. I like it a lot. Once you get a Note 8, it's hard to ever go back to anything else. So I'm waiting for whatever they come out with next year. So there we go, we have the two ships in the bottle. Lepin, Lego, those are done. Now we're going to get on to the base and the display for... Oh yeah, let's look at these things. Here's the Lego, and here's this thing. I guess it's a giraffe. And well, it's really useful. It's got the sharp edge like the Lego one does that you can use to pry things off with. It's just funny that they use a shape like that. I guess trying to make it more Toys R Us-ish. Even though Toys R Us is no more, here at least. Alright, so I believe that's almost the last part. I just wanted to stop to take a look at the base, so you can... There. So you can see little fitment issues I found. So this is the Lego. Looks pretty good. Very smooth connections for the most part. Now, let's go look at the weapon. Now this front part here, you see that? What I see? There are some gaps. And that's no good. But, I mean, that's just not Lego quality. It's a cool set, it's a really good copy, it's just not worth the money for this one. Other knockoffs are pretty good. I'd say they're probably worth their price, but this one is not. This one's definitely overpriced. A lot of fitment issues, lots of little things like that. Another thing I noticed, I was just looking at, you can see kind of how wavy the plastic is on this one. Let's look at the Lego one. Nice and clear, not wavy at all. Go back to weapon, and look at that. It's like an old-time window. If you've ever seen a window from a long time ago, they're pretty wavy. So yeah, that's kind of like that. So just something else I noticed. I also think I might have skipped a step. I've got this and that, and I think it might have supposed to go right there, I think. I'm gonna look at the instruction booklet and look at it. But yeah, so that's where I am right now. Alright, and there you have it. I have them both done finally. I tried to add that little clear ring right here on the weapon one, but it's too stuck on there. If I take it apart, it's gonna probably mess up the whole thing, and I'll have to fix a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna leave it off. I got the Lego one on because, you know, Lego works. Has to be expected. I mean, you get what you pay for. I think it's a great set. It was a lot of fun to put together. Just fun to see those little details. Like here, even the globes spin. It's kind of cool. And those two. So yeah, I just wouldn't get the knockoff on this one. If I were trying to save money, this would not be the way to go. It costs almost as much as the real Lego one, and it's not as good. Just nowhere near as good a quality. It looks cool from afar. I mean, you look at it from afar and you're like, oh yeah, that's Lego. And then you get up close and you start to see these little differences, little gaps, waviness in the plastic, just color variances. If you're somebody who builds with Lego often, then you will see those differences and you will not enjoy it. But if you're on a budget, then you don't want to pay the premium price for a good Lego set, then you can go with Lepin or Lili or Lelu, whatever they're called. There's like, I don't know, dozens of different knockoff companies. However, this set cost almost as much as the Lego one, so it's not worth it on this one. But there are plenty of other knockoff sets that are half the price of the originals, and they're pretty good. I mean, they're not going to be as good, but they're pretty good for copies. But yeah, so I'll let you all decide what you want to do with this information. I'm just doing this as a hobby to find these little differences between these. I'm going to keep it, but I'll keep it separate. Lego and non-Lego do not mix. These are the extra pieces from the Lego set, and those are the extra pieces from the Lepin set. Still, I find it funny that the separator tool is like a giraffe, but whatever, it's all good. And then the letter. Oh, that's hard to read. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you enjoyed seeing how this goes and seeing those little details. That's something that I like. I just like noticing those little details and pointing those out. Hopefully you found some good information from this, and you can make a decision on which route to go. I mean, with the price though, I would definitely just stick with the Lego. Lego, it's guaranteed quality, guaranteed to fit right, and if you are missing a piece, or if it doesn't quite fit right, then you can submit a complaint with Lego and they will replace the piece and they will fix it for you. Not sure what kind of support you're going to get with this route. So there you have it. Lego versus maybe Lepin or whatever. Not Lego, that's what it is. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.